So again, welcome. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm honored to be asked again to do the intro. Is that good? Okay, let's stand up tall. Um, yeah, to be the host for today's program and introducing Ollie. I believe I've been involved in the center for a year and a half now. And I first came in the spring and then I kind of took the summer off because I was busy playing. And then a year ago, I think it was that I really committed because I'm like, this is a cool group of people. I want to be a part of this. I want to have this community in my life. For me, it feels like a very safe space that's been created because typically I do not get up and stand in front of people and talk, especially off the top of my head, like I'm doing right now, because I really had trouble preparing this today. Um, so yeah, it's basically remembering to breathe.
Turn her up just a little. It's that bit.
Okay, great. How's that?
Oh, way better.
Oh, I can hear me. Weird.
It's great.
I don't know if I like that. Um, okay, so where was I? So I guess when I first was introduced about this from Dre, and he talked about the center of love, I'm like, well, that sounds pretty amazing. Like the center of love. Um, and just like, what does that look like? Because I felt like there'd been years of division, separation, and sadness. And um, so when I came here, it immediately felt like a warm, welcoming space that united us all. It didn't matter if we had a difference of opinions, it could be shared and we could talk about it openly. And it just is a really safe container. Um, so I became more involved. And what I like, some of our commitments are to cultivate healing, personal growth, and wholeness, to inspire, uplift, and empower by serving in love. And as a community, we agree that we are all part of one single human family. Everything in the universe is interconnected, and love is the connective tissue that holds us all together. And some of the values that I really appreciate is the open-heartedness, kindness, courage, and creativity. So when I first saw the title for today's little talk about all about me, I was instantly intrigued and thought, oh, cool. We're going to be guided on some inner journey. So then I read and reread the body, and I was a bit perplexed and had to reach out to Ollie with a sassy comment. And then and then he asked me to introduce him and host. Which made me giggle, thinking, well, he's talking about himself. What do I need to introduce and say? So I've been working on a few different things with Ollie, and my sense is that he truly likes to lead. And it doesn't come from ego at all. Um, it's truly from his heart. And he wants the best for everyone, the best experience. And he wants to create the best community of connection and love. And he also does that by being an amazing leader. And he's always open to new ideas and sees potential in all. And that's what I really like about him. He's very encouraging, very supportive. And I'm really looking forward to his talk today.
So fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many people actually read what this talk today is about before showing up here this morning? I'm flattered. Well, my friends, the time you've been waiting for is here. The talk you've been waiting for. A talk that's entirely unapologetically about me. Hey, if you thought this was a trick, it's no trick. This literally is all about me today, my friends. But some of you may be thinking, wow, all these ego. I mean, Ali just said he leads from a place from his heart, but this sounds like a lot of ego. I mean, the most glorious being in the universe, the greatest and the wisest. And why is this good news for all of you? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, does it? Well, the good news is Ollie is not doing the talk today. In fact, he's agreed to take the morning off. He's going to be riding in the back seat and he's going to let me do the talking today. So when I say that I'm the most glorious, wisest, and greatest being in the universe, I'm not talking about this guy. I'm speaking from a place deeper within, a place that exists in all of you. And so this is the twist here, my friends. All the things I'm about to say about myself are actually about you. Bet you didn't know that one. Did you know that you're me? Any Oprah fans out here? You know, Oprah, you get a car, you get a car, everyone gets a car. You're me, everyone's me. Surprise, surprise. You probably thought you were you. You're like, oh, of course I'm me. But now you're finding out, actually, you're me. And what does that make me? I'm you, obviously. I mean, makes sense, right? Makes sense. So before we go any further and talk about me and how glorious I am, I have to offer a disclaimer. In fact, I'm obliged to offer this disclaimer for you. When we talk about me, we have to understand that words can never truly encapsulate who and what I truly am. And so we have to get comfortable with the idea that the words I am going to use are merely fingers pointing to something else, something that exists within each and every one of us. And so my invitation to you today is to not get stuck on the words that I'm using because they are merely signs pointing you inward towards this reality. And so you don't have to take my word for any of the things that I'm going to share with you today. You can find out for yourself directly. You have all the tools, all the experiences necessary to prove that what I'm saying here today is true for you as well. Okay, so in other words, don't get stuck on the words. We're good there. So how did this come about? Well, 12 years ago, Ollie discovered that he was sharing his body with something else, a presence that was both familiar and alien. And ever since then, Ollie has been trying to figure out who the heck is this thing? What is this thing that is sharing his body with him? And in the process, he has shed many skins like the serpents before us, peeling back the layers of his identity to try and find something at the core, something essential, something that is truly and most fundamentally him. He's looking for the bedrock of his being. And since I am that bedrock, I've been leading him along with breadcrumbs. I've been egging him on to go deeper and deeper until finally he can get to the object of his search, right? Until he discovered what was lurking beneath all the layers of identity, the roles, the stories, the patterns, the names. What's behind all of this? What is that presence that he discovered all those years ago? Well, I'm happy to report that I've been disclosing some information to Ollie. And today I'd like to share some of that information with you because once again, What's relevant for me may also be relevant for you. So, what am I? First, I am eternal, infinite, without beginning or end. I existed long before this body came to be, long before this planet came into existence, even before this universe. I was, will be, and am always here. I'm nameless. I am both male and female. My daughter recently said to me, "Dad, you're too wise to have a gender." I told her that's the best compliment anyone has ever paid me. But this presence that we are talking about today, this presence that I am and that you are, it really is beyond gender. It's beyond light and dark, right and wrong. It transcends and brings all of these things together. I am light. I witness. I am also will. I influence. I am in the body, but I'm also outside the body and all around the body, like water to a fish. I'm immanent, invisible, all pervading, and all sustaining. Did you know that about me? Pretty freaking amazing, aren't I? Sustaining all, animating. Wow, I'm doing a lot. Another thing you want to know about me is that I inhabit and express myself through forms. In a rock, I express myself as a rock. I behave rockish. In a tree, I express myself as a tree. I collect sunlight. I make sugar. I inhale your exhales. I exhale your inhales. In a human being, that's where I come to play, though. That's where I come to have the most fun, because that's where I can play the game of co-creation. Right? When I manifest through human form, I co-create. I become the author of this unfolding narrative. In human beings, my light is magnified, my awareness expands, and with it, the range of my creative expression. Human beings have so many options. When I'm a rock, all I can do is be a rock. I can just rock. But when I'm a human, think of all the amazing, wonderful things I can do through this form. Working through humanity, I created the very gods that your ancestors wrote about all those millennia ago. Do you realize that you yourselves are the gods that we invented millennia ago? All through the working of this inner light. Here's something else that Ollie has discovered about me. Whatever I center myself upon becomes my identity. If I center myself upon the ego, the light gets lost inside the story and the character of Ollie. I become this person that I think I am. I read the script, and of course, I experience the drama because I'm all the way in it. But if I center myself in the light, which is my essential nature, I rest as pure awareness. I can step back from the mind-body complex and see it from a distance, no longer lost in the play of forms, no longer limited by unhelpful narratives or clouded by competing priorities. I'm liberated from rigid likes and dislikes, from good and evil, and even from life and death. When I remember who I truly am, I can act from a place of total freedom, unhindered by anything outside of me. Now, for Ollie, and I suspect for many of you as well, the key is to remain centered in that place of awareness where you can observe the body, you can observe the mind, you can observe the thoughts without getting sucked into them and lost in them, right? And so for Ollie, he needs a lot of reminders. It's so easy to lose sight of your center and to become lost in the drama and the stories and the patterns that surround us and make up our lives, right? So when you remain centered in awareness, you can identify with the light instead of with the body. that it inhabits. Now, one thing I want to make clear is that I'm not disavowing the ego. I'm not getting rid of Ollie. He's a useful character, and I quite enjoy playing him on TV. I'm not saying we need to get rid of these things. I'm not even saying that getting rid of the ego is possible. If it were possible, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily favorable. The goal is to put the ego in its proper place as a servant of the light, right? Rather than as the architect of our own suffering. Many of you are undoubtedly familiar with the idea that we are three-part creatures, right? You've probably heard the Trinitarian idea that you are a mind, a body, and a spirit. And that's a really useful model. You can learn a lot from that. You can filter a lot through that lens and gain from it. It's a powerful and valid model. But in the search for something more foundational, I have led Ollie to a slightly different understanding of this three-part being. And I'd like to share that with you today, because if you're like Ollie, you might like it simple, and Ollie really likes it simple. So when I think of mind, body, and spirit, I think of those three as being energy. The body is energy, the mind is energy, thoughts, emotions, sensations, all of this is energy, right? And so what is aware of energy? What is aware of all these things that is happening inside of you and all around you? What is that presence, right? And what else can it do? Does it just observe? Is it just a passive witness? Or does it have some agency? Does it have the ability to choose? Well, I think that we can all agree that there is agency within you. You have the power to make decisions, to select, and more primarily, you have the power to choose where you put your awareness, right? That is the most primal, powerful choice that you have at every moment of your life. Where do you direct your awareness? Do you expand it? Do you narrow it down to a narrow beam so that you can focus all of your awareness on a small detail? You're constantly controlling your awareness, zooming in, zooming out, paying attention to this, paying attention to that. That is your will. That is an essential quality of who and what you truly are. But words don't do it justice. Don't do they? I don't think words do it justice. So I think what we should do instead is experience this for ourselves together. I think that we should experience ourselves as the light together and see what comes of it. Instead of talking about it, let's experience it, my friends. So, Barbara, if you wouldn't mind hitting the meditation music when you had a moment there. And my friends, you are awareness, you are agency, and you are energy. All of these things dancing together, interacting with each other, they make up you, the process, the being.